Senator Wyden joins us now. Senator, obviously this is a big week ahead for you and the rest of the senators. What do you expect will happen early on Tuesday and for the next at least couple of weeks?
Certainly these have been very hectic days. I found myself managing the big trade bill. It was bipartisan, hugely important for Oregon. About 1 out of 4 jobs revolves around international trade in our state. And we got a terrific vote, and then a few minutes later I was in my seat getting ready to be a juror. So the first thing I did as we began, later we were sworn in as an oath of impartiality, I said to myself, what would the Founding Fathers like? What would they expect of us? And I've come to the conclusion what they want senators to work for is a just outcome rather than a political outcome.
On that vein, we've heard some criticism on your side about Mitch McConnell's close aligning himself with the president. What can you see, or what would you want to see to be objective, and could you see yourself voting to acquit the president?
Well, frankly, I have heard comments from senators on both sides that concern me. And I think, speaking again to what the Founding Fathers would expect, the Founding Fathers would expect that on an issue of this magnitude, it's about putting country first, period, full stop.
Do you think you could vote to acquit the president and still be popular in Oregon?
If you're an impartial juror, you don't suddenly start running around and saying, I'm inclined to do this and I'm inclined to do that. What I have tried to do, I've had several town meetings when Oregonians bring up a variety of questions. For example, there is great interest in witnesses. I happen to think witnesses could be very helpful. If you go with witnesses, it's extraordinarily important to be fair. So if one side gets a number of witnesses, the other side has to get a reciprocal number of witnesses.
So, for example, would you be in favor of Hunter Biden appearing if John Bolton appeared?
I get asked about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, by all calculations, didn't commit an impeachable offense. He's not on trial for impeachment. So, frankly, I'm very dubious that Republicans would call Hunter Biden as one of their witnesses for that reason.
Do you think there are going to be 51 votes in the Senate for witnesses in the trial?
It's unclear. My sense is now you see press reports that a number of Republicans are trying to make up their mind with respect to witnesses. My sense is that the press reports say there's 4 that are thinking about it. I can tell you my take is that there are more senators than 4 who are pretty close to agonizing about this, because at this rate, more and more documents come out almost every week. And if you vote to reject witnesses and documents and the like, and suddenly a lot of important information comes out and you've resisted that being available, history may not look too kindly on you.
So would you like to hear from John Bolton, Love Parnas, one, neither? Or would you like documents and not hear from them in person?
I'm not going to speculate on a whole host of witnesses. John Bolton, because of his prominence in the national security area and the oft-cited comment that he apparently said that this whole question of help for the Ukrainian government tied to digging up dirt on the president's opponents, apparently he compared it to a drug deal. So I think not all the witnesses have this, or potential witnesses have the same import for the key questions.
What was it like for you taking that oath and signing that book and making that sort of symbolic, yet also perhaps more than that, move into the trial setting?
It's such a sobering moment, and it was very jarring for me because I literally came from managing the trade bill, which probably will be the #1 economic issue of this session of Congress. I'm very pleased that we got almost 90 votes In the United States Senate, it's hard to get 90 votes to go order a soda, let alone pass a major trade bill. It's enormously important to Oregon. It's important to Oregon agriculture. It's important to Oregon technology.
Well, that's my next question. What in Southern Oregon, what benefits will people in Southern Oregon specifically, you think, see from the USMCA?
Well, Oregon agriculture will certainly benefit because our agricultural products are so popular in Mexico and Canada and throughout the block of countries that this agreement covers, the three in particular. I think also our small businesses will be helped. I'm the author of what's called Section 230, which has been included, which says that if you own a website or a blog, you've got a promising idea in Southern Oregon, you can't be held personally liable for something posted on your site. So if an Oregonian is in effect making their products available throughout the region, Canada and Mexico, that law provides some measure of protection.
What do you think Southern Oregonians should look for in the short term as a benefit from USMCA?
Certainly there will be some certainty and predictability with respect to the rules for our country and Canada and Mexico. You contrast that with China, and there you don't have an agreement that has come before the Congress, but it's of enormous importance to the state. China is our #1 trading partner. Canada is #2. There is not the certainty and predictability with the agreement with China that there will be with Canada and Mexico. So I think you're going to find a lot of Oregon businesses say, we like the fact that at least there's been some relief in this new agreement from the tariffs. We certainly like most the fact that there'll be some certainty and predictability. Many Oregon businesses tell me, Ron, whatever the rules are, just try to give us some certainty and predictability.
Senator, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.